Welcome into the Blerd Wire. It's your host, King Whale. Today, we are going to be reviewing the final Mission Impossible movie that came out just this past month, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I know I'm a little behind on getting my review out for it, but honestly, I just saw it like a week ago, and it took me time to unpack it, and I've been crazy busy, so I'm glad I finally got a second to come out just to talk about it, kind of drop my thoughts on it, and what I think they did well and what I think didn't work so well. Of course, Mission Impossible is the conclusion to the Tom Cruise led franchise that's been going on since the 90s. One of the most critically regarded franchises of all time. Ever since Ghost Protocol, it's pretty much been getting universal acclaim from every critic, which I think is around when Christopher McQuarrie took over. McQuarrie. And I think it really hit its peak in Fallout. Fallout was kind of like that was the movie that everybody will most people say that that one's like their favorite out of the Mission Impossible movies. But Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Fallout, and then of course Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning have all been great. They've all been great movies. They do a good job of giving people exactly what they want without it getting stale. And I think that's exactly what they did well here in Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I mean, I think all the characters came together really well. I think it gave us a satisfying conclusion, a worthy sacrifice. I won't tell you who it is, but obviously it was coming. Spoiler alert, by the way. I should probably put that at the beginning, but in case you haven't seen it, it's definitely a spoiler alert. Um, but yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very well done, very well executed. Um, the action scenes were top notch, and when I kind of thought there was a point in the movie where it was lulling a little bit, and I thought we weren't really going to go for it the way that they usually go for it. But they definitely did, and the climax definitely felt climactic. They built up to it. When it comes out on streaming, I'll definitely see it again. On Paramount Plus. It was a thrill ride for sure. Um, and it's hard to think of like I don't think it was this incredible movie, but there was very few things that I didn't do well. Like I love seeing Angela Bassett return, and this time as the president instead of just like the leader of the Ghost Protocol, not the Ghost Protocol, instead of the CIA director, she came back as the president. So that was pretty cool to see. Um, Grace's character still continued to develop nicely. She didn't get as much of the spotlight in this one as much as I thought she would. I also thought Vanessa Kirby's character would be more in this one, but she probably didn't fit the with what was going on in this one, trying to wrap things up. Not to mention, she's pretty busy playing a certain invisible woman for the Fantastic Four that's going to be coming out in a month. So I'm not surprised if her schedule conflicted too much for her to make this one. Um, but yeah, no, all the characters really fit and really made sense. I thought the villain, I mean, I think the best villain is still going to be, I don't know why I can't think of his name, but he's the one that was in um, both the, he was in Ghost Protocol and Fallout. And, oh, what is his name? If you, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like Simon. I don't know. If you know the movies, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I still think he's the best villain. I think he's the most well fleshed out and developed, with his apostles and everything. But I think this villain, Esai Morales portrayed, Gabriel, I think it was satisfying to see him in both movies. I think he did a good job portraying the character. And I think it made us realize how the movie ended up being a lot more timely than I was expecting. Because in the movie, he's trying to race to stop the entity before it takes over the nuclear weapons on Earth. And it breaks it down by country because there's 9 countries that currently have nuclear weapons, which, movies don't always really go into. Sometimes they just say like nukes, like in Avengers Age of Ultron. They never talked about which countries have nuclear weapons. They just said he's going to go after the nuclear weapons. So breaking it down by country really kind of it gets so weird how much art right now is like paralleling life with Israel's attack on Iran and everything that's just going on in the world right now. It's really a crazy time to be around. Obviously, they weren't planning on that when this movie came out. However, it's just I think it made it hit even harder and all the determination because that kind of felt like it made it feel like it was happening right now, and also made it feel like Tom Cruise was like fighting for us. If that makes any sense. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but back to the movie. I thought Palm, I might mess up her last name, so Clementine. I thought her character was done really well in this movie. Um, I think it was a satisfying conclusion. Okay, definite spoiler alert, because I can't talk about the satisfying conclusion without talking about how the movie ends. Obviously, the entity is defeated, and we get to really see they crafted it so that way Grace's skill could really be seen when the entity is defeated and how they choose to defeat it. It ended in a way that kind of left it open in that the team just kind of walked away from it all. So they didn't end with like he can't go on missions anymore. It was just kind of like this was the final one. Um, and somehow it still felt satisfying. Like I don't usually like the conclusions that aren't really conclusions that are open ended to where like you could go do something else right after. I kind of like my stories to end. Like I remember Animorphs, like they start random, but like back in third grade, I used to read the Animorphs books all the way to the end. And the last book, he was like, I wanted them to go out the way they came in, fighting. And I was like, no, I want like a conclusion, like do they win or not? But that's not what he really wanted for it. But anyway, so in this one, they kind of gave us the same thing. Obviously, they ended with a victory. We have to say a sad goodbye to Luther's character, who tragically sacrificed himself at the beginning of the movie, and he's been around since, man, the first one. Yeah, he's been around that far. And it was really cool how they brought back the actor from the first one too, who was supposed to be on duty. That was pretty cool how he ended up being worked into the plot. So, um, yeah, I thought it all made sense. I thought I followed it very well. I thought the peril, you could really feel the peril and everything in it. And I hope Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie keep making movies together because they are a dynamite duo, at least for this Mission Impossible franchise. And even for Top Gun Maverick, which I actually enjoyed. And I didn't think I was going to, but I actually really did enjoy it. So let me know your thoughts about Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Did my spoilers ruin it for you? Even rank your favorite Mission Impossible movies right here. I'll try to drop a ranking of mine. Let me know what you think. Where does your Mission Impossible stack up? And I might bring someone else on and we might talk about it again. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And until next time.